If you are having to teach your man everything, then he is like your child. He is a man child. If you are a young man, you have a lot to learn. So you will face many situations where fear arises in you. It's just an indication that you're a growing young man and you need to learn a skill. What turns the Alinga on is your steadfastness, your dependability. Never morally judge the Alinga and be there for her as the stablest force in her life.
Namaste, Acharya. We're happy to have you
Namaste.
here on the podcast again. This is the second
Happy
podcast
to
that
be here.
we are having together,
Yeah.
and this would be a very interesting podcast. But before talking about the podcast, I want to ask about this new name, Mrityunjay, that you have got. What is the reason and what's the meaning behind this name?
Well, I can't speak much about it, but it's the name I have taken upon myself as a yogi, as working on my mission now to help thousands of people ahead. So I want to function as a yogi now to serve people. And this is the name I have assumed from whatever teaching I've been given. Mrityunjay means someone who overcomes mrityu or death. And that's one of my missions as a yogi, to show people that it's possible to remain young and healthy and not age as a yogi. Right? So that's why I got this name.
Interesting. I'm sure you'll be helping many people out there with this name. Best
Yes.
wishes for your journey.
Thank you.
Talking about the podcast, this is going to be a very interesting topic. We are going to discuss about the code of conduct and principles that men in society need to follow in order to function at their optimal level. So even I don't know about these principles. It's the first time I'll be hearing. So before starting, I think we should invoke Devi's blessings for our podcast so that
Yes.
we give our best and I'm able to ask good questions. So
Sure. Since your channel is for women, it's about Shakti. Today's topic is a very interesting one. It's about the code of conduct that men follow towards women. So it's actually very relevant to your channel. And so before that, we should invoke Devi in order to get her blessings. So let's chant her mantra, the Navakshari mantra, which is Aim, Reem, Kleem, Chamundai, Viche. Okay, let's do that 3 times. Okay, to show our love to Devi. We can join our palms, we can close our eyes, think about Durga coming to you from the sky, looking at you, blessing you, and burning away all your doubts, your negativity, your unnecessary thoughts. Durga is coming with all her weapons to burn all this away in our mind. And we chant Om Aim Reem Kleem Chamundai Viche. Om Aim Reem Kleem Chamundai Viche. Om Aim Reem Kleem Chamundai Viche. And you can open your eyes. Yes. So with Devi with us, you can start.
Okay, Sarah, so let's start with the first Maryada that men need to follow.
All right. So before we even start, there's a list of points that we have learned as yogis to follow towards men. Okay, so there's a whole list of points that we've created, but before that, we should understand what this is about. This is a code of conduct or a set of ethics, heuristics, or a set of principles that men can follow in order to behave with women in the right manner. Okay. And so we call it a maryada. A maryada is a set of rules or, a code of conduct. So this is the maryada for men, maryada that men can follow to be able to live with a woman respectfully and harmoniously, right? Now, in this set of rules, I'll be using certain words such as linga and alinga. So I just thought I'll take a minute to explain this. Maybe we talked about this the last time, that the Shivalinga is a symbol of union between the masculine and the feminine. If you look at the symbol of the Shivalinga that you see everywhere in India, the Shivling is in fact the most worshipped deity or symbol in the whole country. So what that represents is actually a lingam. What you see, the phallus of the Shivalinga is the lingam, which represents masculine energy, which represents Shiva, and that is linga. Now, the symbol that wraps around this pillar is the alinga, or it represents Shakti. The consort of Shiva represents Parvati. Shiva and Shakti go together always, and linga and alinga go together. Okay. So when I say linga, I'm referring to the masculine. When I say alinga, we're referring to Shakti, to the feminine. Okay. So these are the terms that we can proceed with. All right. So,
Right.
so it's talking about the Maryada for men. Now, you haven't heard this before, so it's new to you as well. So let's start with this. It's a very interesting take. Having now arrived in the 21st century where there is so much debate and conflict over how should men behave and what are the kind of men we have today, and how does a woman feel respected in society? How does a woman feel respected as a partner? These set of rules allow a men or give a certain set of guidelines to men so that they can enjoy life with their partner, with the feminine. Okay. So the first Maryada that we start with is, even before we start, to start this Maryada by realizing that women are Devi's spiritual gift to men and vice versa, which is in Devi's world, which she has created. Women represent a gift to men spiritually, and men also are a gift to women. This is how we begin our relationship. This is how every man and woman begins their relationship, by realizing this is a gift of Devi, right?
Right.
And to never lose sight of this, to always maintain this respect for your partner, that this is a gift of creation towards me, right? And we start with that respect. Now,
Hmm.
when we invoke that respect, the first Maryada that we learn as men is to practice Shringara, to show up only in Shringara before the Alinga. Now, what is Shringara? Shringara is one of the divine emotions, one of the nine spiritual emotions. There
Hmm.
are nine spiritual emotions called the Navarasas in
Hmm.
Indian culture, quite popular even in the art forms, the dance forms of India, like Bharatnatyam, like Mohiniyattam. And you will find that Shringara is considered the mother of all rasas in those art forms, in the dance forms. They consider Shringara as the mother of all rasas. Why? Because Shringara represents romantic love. It represents eroticism. It represents attraction. It represents beauty. It represents you wanting to look good, decorating yourself. All of this comes under Shringara. So, in a simple way, we could say Shringara is attraction that you show to a person, or romantic love. Now, this emotion is what men have to come with every time they're with their partner, every time they meet the feminine. Always show up in the emotion of Shringara. And the same goes for the woman as well. But this Maryada is for men. So I'm going to talk about men.
Right.
If you do not show up in Shringara towards the women, or maybe I'll talk about it positively. To show up in Shringara means you are always coming in a certain energy, with a certain aura that we can build through yogic practice. In order to build Shringara towards your partner, you can actually do it through a certain meditation. The emotion of Shringara, the rasa of Shringara, develops in the Swadhisthana chakra, which is at your genital organ for both male and female. Okay, it's just behind the genital organ. This is a yogic energy center, a chakra. The Swadhisthana chakra is the center for your Shringara rasa. So how you develop this energy for Shringara is by meditating upon the Swadhisthana chakra and visualizing emerald green glow, beginning to emerge from the and spreading into your body. A beautiful emerald green light, glow spreading all over your body and creating a lovely aura around you, which makes you feel attractive, which makes you feel, divine, which makes you feel almost sexy in a way to other people. So when you look in the mirror, you're looking at yourself as beautiful. You're looking at yourself as attractive. And then you want to look attractive. You want to dress up well. You want to, look good for your partner. And that is how you start to develop Shringara in yourself. That means whenever you meet your partner, the only rasa you should show, the only emotion you should come with is this Shringara. You don't come with any other emotions. Don't come with anger, hatred, sadness, anxiety, jealousy. And there are other emotions as well, even the spiritual emotions, such as Raudra, which is anger, and Veera, which is the warrior spirit, or Shanta, which is peaceful, emotion. But you don't show up in these emotions, even though they are the divine emotions. In front of your partner with your Alinga, you always show up in Shringara, because then she feels valued, because then she feels like she's loved. And so that is the first Maryada that we follow. Is that good? You want to ask anything about this?
I think it's pretty clear that you should come with an emotion of love.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're representing yourself as a
Yeah.
lover and not just a man.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense, right? Right. So the second Maryada we can move to is, now all of these rules have come down from the is sort of a filtered version of behaviors that we have picked up from the Puranas, from our culture, from the stories of heroes, of real men from our culture. So what I'm talking about now is a filtered down version of behaviors of divine and great men. Okay. So the second Maryada that we follow is, do not accept anything less than Shringara from her, from the Alinga. Okay. And find the root cause of her not showing up in Shringara and fix it immediately with good communication. Okay. So that is the second Maryada that men have to stick to. Do not accept anything less than Shringara from your partner as well. So this is a really good point. First of all, if the woman is not showing up in Shringara, you have to have the Veerya, the energy to realize, to find the root cause. Why? Why is she not showing up in the same divine romantic love emotion towards you, the same rasa of Shringara? Go and find out the root cause. Sit down with her, talk to her about it, and find out the root cause. If it takes time, it's okay, but you have to find the root cause immediately. What happens in relationships today is we don't go to the root cause, right? If you look at relationships today, maybe someone in the relationship is hurt by the other, or affected by the other, or upset that's at what someone else said, upset at what their partner said, but they don't talk about it. When you don't bring it up immediately, say me as a male looks at my partner and I see that she's not coming in the emotion of Shringara, she's not feeling that glow of emerald light around her, that aura of Shringara, and I don't ask her why. I don't sit down with her and ask her, what's up? Why are you feeling upset? Or is there something wrong? If I don't talk to her immediately, then the issue that's upsetting her, she's suppressing it inside. She suppressed it. When you suppress something inside, it magnifies. When you keep it, what we call in para, when you don't bring it out in words, which is vaikari. When you, in mantra chanting, when you chant out loudly, it's called vaikari. But when you chant deep within and suppress the mantra deep within yourself, that's called para. And para is a much more powerful way to chant a mantra. It magnifies the strength of that mantra a thousandfold. And the same goes for emotion, for these feelings. When you see your partner coming in with us, with something, disturbed by something, and you don't immediately talk about it, bring it out in Vaikari, then your partner will suppress it. She's suppressing it in para, and she's letting it settle deep within herself. And that starts to create resentment for you over time. She's suppressed it in, that feeling has now magnified a thousandfold. If she would have just spoken to you about it, the issue would have extinguished right there. But you did not talk about it with her as a man, and she suppressed it, and it magnified a thousandfold. And so that's what we see in relationships today. And even our parents' generations and the older generations, you see them carrying resentment towards the partner, almost as if over many years, and it hasn't been resolved. And so this is what happens when you don't immediately communicate. So you as a man, me as a man, I have to take care that if I see my partner upset about anything, for that, I have to have a lot of virya first, because men don't have the energy or the time to sit down with their partner and actually talk it out. It can take hours sometimes. I can speak from my experience. I have been in a relationship, and sometimes you have to talk. Sometimes you have to sit down and have the patience to talk it out for hours until the issue is resolved, until you both arrive at a common ground. So men have to have virya for that. Most men don't have that these days. They say, I can't talk about this. I don't have the energy to bring this up. I don't have the stability to deal with what she's going to tell me. I'll get offended. I'll get hurt. I can't deal with this situation. So I will never talk about it with her. And she's suppressing it all within herself. It's all becoming magnified in para. And then you wonder after a while, why is she behaving resentfully towards you? Why does she not give you the same respect and love that she used to? And that's why the second Maryada is very important, to find out the root cause whenever your partner, the Alinga, doesn't show up in Shringara, and immediately fix it. Sit down and communicate and fix it. So that's the second Maryada, if you want to say something about it.
Yeah, I think in the relationship and work
Yeah.
on maintaining that, because without
Yes,
it,
of course. Yes, you have to
your
be.
partner is like not just a friend. It's
Mhm.
more than that. So you have to put in more efforts if you want that
Yes,
to sustain.
yes. If you want a divine relationship, you have to see your partner as divine, right?
Mm.
And you have to respect them, right?
Right.
So always show up in Shringara and always expect nothing less than Shringara from your partner. If they aren't in Shringara, find the root cause, communicate. So that was the first 2 points of our Maryada. And the next point in our code of principles is to be a master communicator and to be open about where you need help when the Alinga is in a stable Shringara. Okay, that means to be a master communicator. For that, you have to learn communication skills. It's the most essential skill in relationships. Most people think,
Just
young
a
guys
second.
today, young men,
Light
did you lose
went.
power?
Yeah.
Do you have hotspot or something like
The bulb light.
the lighting will go away, na?
Just a second and pause the recording.
Right. So the next Maryada for men is to be a master communicator. And because communication is the most important skill in any relationship.
True.
To be a master communicator means you should be able to sense when your partner, when the Alinga is in a certain emotion, and you should know how to react or respond to her emotion rather than have your own way. So first, most important skill in communication is to be a good listener rather than just imposing your view on your partner. So you have to be able to listen to her. You need to first look at her and empty your mind and listen to what she has to say or what she is feeling. Then you communicate. So communication always has to be mutually beneficial. You have to speak respectfully in a way that also benefits her through the words you speak and also benefits you. You're not selfless, neither are you selfish. So you're mutually benefiting each other through communication. Therefore, master at communication. And you should be open about where you need help. When the Alinga is in stable Shringara, talk to her about something that, an issue that you're facing. If you have some trouble going on in your life, you can talk to her. But make sure that first she is attracted towards you, that she has this emotion of Shringara, romantic love towards you. Only then she wants to listen to you. She wants to take care of you. So that is the third Maryada. So men have to develop the skill of communication. Most men feel that going to the gym and having 2 mugs of protein powder shake every day is going to be enough for them to attract a woman. More important than that is for them to become great at communication. Before you go to the gym, take a class for communication. Okay, start speaking to people, practice communication with other people, with other women, so that you realize, okay, these are my weaknesses. This is where I don't know how to react to women. This is where I respond too rashly, or I don't know the right response when I'm speaking to women. Then you develop experience, and then maybe when you enter a relationship, you have the set of skills that you require to be empathetic to your partner, to be that stable presence in her life who can listen to her. Okay, I personally feel that you become a good communicator when you become a good listener. Your ability to speak and to communicate well comes later. It comes as a result of being a good listener. I have always been a good listener in my life, more than speaking. I'm speaking a lot on this podcast because that's my job. But in daily life, I don't speak much at all. I'm
Hmm.
more listening to people. And because I listen to everyone, I know what response they need. And that's how I become good at speaking, because I'm listening. Okay? Most people today, especially in the 21st century, where people are so heavily distracted, they're never present. They're never really listening. You're taking in the words that the person is saying, but you're taking it at a very superficial level, just at your intellectual base thought level. You're not really absorbing it deep into your heart. Because when you absorb the what she really means, then the right response comes out of you. But when you take what she's saying as a problem and trying to solve it, what comes out of you is not the right communication, right? So you have to be present in Shringara. You have to listen, talk to her when she herself is in Shringara, right?
Can I say something? You have to be open in your communication, and you have to be brave enough to be vulnerable in front of your woman who's accepting
Yes,
you.
yes. And to be brave means to have Veerya. That's why we teach Veerya as an essential quality for men. It's what I'm teaching in my Veerya challenge. So to be brave enough to be vulnerable is a really strong man's quality, because it takes bravery for you to, put out your trouble, put out your weakness in front of your partner, and to not ask for help, but to just talk with her. You're not going there as a weak man. You're going there as a strong man, and telling your partner that I am, I need help with this, or I am facing some trouble with so and so issue in my life, and then she will help you. So yes, being brave, you need to be brave to be vulnerable. Yes. So should we move to the next one?
Right, yes.
Right. So the next point in Maryada for men is keep the Alinga updated about the future timeline when she is fully present to you and turned on in Shringar. Okay. So you can see how important Shringara is in relationships.
Hmm.
Even in the dance forms such as Bharatnatyam and Mohiniyattam, Shringara is said to be the emotion from which other emotions can arise, such as anger, such as jealousy, envy, and so all these emotions arise from Shringara. Therefore,
Hmm.
between a man and woman, Shringara is the most important rasa. Most of our dance forms are based on the relationship between man and woman. That's why they
Hmm.
consider Shringara as the mother of all rasas. So anyway, this Maryada is about keeping the Alinga updated about the future timeline. It's important, right? It's important to let your partner know, to let the woman know what your plan is for the next week ahead, for the next month ahead, and for the next year ahead, and for your life ahead. Because then she can clearly decipher whether she aligns with you, whether she aligns with your direction. It's the only way you two will live together, right? But you have to do this when she is turned on in Shringara. If she is not present in the emotion of Shringara, she's not going to listen to you. Okay? She might listen to your words, but she's not going to absorb the vision of the timeline that you're trying to present to her. She has to be attracted to you. So first of all, as a man, you have to be attractive. You have to build your set of skills. You have to look good and be attractive so that she's turned on in Shringara. She likes you. She wants to be with you. Then you can tell her about the future timeline. You can talk to her about, look, I have so and so plan ahead for the next week, for this next month. I see my life going in this direction in the next few years. This is my dharma as a man. Now, do you as a woman align with my dharma? Are you willing to come along with me and we take this journey ahead? So, and then you'll see if she aligns with your dharma, she's the right partner for you. Or else you can respectfully move apart in your own direction. So, to be able to communicate your future timeline as a man is really important.
I think
So, that's the,
this brings a sense of constancy in the woman's life, that she knows
yeah,
that her partner is aware of where he's going and what he wants in the
yeah,
future, which is what Shakti needs. She needs
yes,
constancy. She needs that
yeah.
vision, which the
She needs
man is,
safety. She needs,
mm,
yeah, she needs stability, right?
which the man is supposed to provide.
Yes. So, that's what this Maryada is about. Now, moving to the next one is you have to bless the Alinga daily and be extremely grateful to Devi for her presence in your life. So as a man, every morning when you wake up and you look at your partner, you have to bless her. Even quietly, if you do it quietly in your mind, but you're blessing her. This is something really important because people don't understand the value of blessings. Maybe I can talk about it for a minute. What is a blessing? How do you bless your partner? And does it have an effect? People think in today's world, especially with the atheistic mindset, the blessing doesn't mean anything, but it does. When you chant a mantra or any kind of thought in your mind, it creates a certain vibration, a certain wave in your mind, a pattern of electrical activity, if you'd like to call it. But this brain wave changes the way you live, changes the way you act with people. It also changes your energy field, which you will understand only when you practice yoga, when you understand subtle energies, when you understand that there is a pranic body, not just the physical body. There's a body of energy, prana. When you understand these subtle energies, you'll realize that when I chant a mantra, it's creating a certain wave in my brain. There's a certain brain wave being induced, and that brain wave is transforming my energy field around me. So when I'm worshiping a god, when I'm chanting a mantra for a certain god, the brain wave of that god is being induced in me, and the energy field around me is being modified with the energy of that god, with that devta. That is the blessing. That is how I receive the blessing of the devta. That's how I'm protected by the devta, because I chanted the mantra, certain brain wave. They're talking about meditation today, and there are these theta waves and alpha waves, and a certain frequency. You listen to a YouTube video and go to sleep these days because it's at a certain frequency that's inducing a brain wave. So that's how it is. When you chant a mantra, it induces a wave. The sound, the swara. We call heaven swara loka, which is, and swara means sound, meaning to say that gods exist as sounds. They have surpassed this material body. They exist in a much subtler energy as sound. And that's why they can exist throughout the universe and exist forever. They exist in that subtler energy as sound, as a vibration, as a wave. So when you chant the mantra or when you try to bless someone, you're inducing a certain wave in your brain which is changing the energy field around you, and that's blessing the person. So it's very important that when you wake up every day, you bless your partner. You don't have to tell her, you just have to bless her, even in your mind.
Feel that blessing.
You really have to feel it, because that changes the way your brain waves are functioning. Your brain waves then start to function in a way that protects her, that supports her. Your energy field, your aura, everything that you do in your life, the way you think starts to change because you have altered the waves, the brain waves in your mind. So it's important to bless the person. Okay. Does that make sense?
Right, it does. Achha, I have to stop the meeting and I will continue in the next meeting.
Yeah, right. So I also want to talk about the first few points of this Maryada now to show how important. Now we should understand how important Shringara is. Isn't it? The first points of our Maryada for men is all about Shringara. So this is how we understand why relationships are failing today. Why relationships have begun to fail over the last few generations. Because men and women are not showing up in Shringara to each other. Okay, so it's crucial that you realize that when I show up in a moody way to my woman, or when she shows up moody, or when I show up upset, when I show up low energy as a depressed, or when I show up worried, stressed, I am contributing to the end of our relationship. Okay, that's how crucial Shringara is for relationships. You always have to show up in Shringara. Even if there is difficulty in life, you have to remain in the emotion of Shringara if you want to live in a successful relationship. Okay, so it's really important that you communicate, as I said earlier, to be able to sit down with your partner and even spend hours to discuss and clarify a few things, get it out of her head so that she's not suppressing anything inside, is important for your health as a man. Because then she'll behave well with you. She's not going to develop ill feelings towards you in the future, and life will be easier for you. So for your sake, learn to communicate. Okay. And right. So we can move to the next, which is quite interesting now. We talked about blessing the Alinga in the previous principle. The next one says you need to value her time, be punctual, and have the courtesy to inform her if there are any changes in plans. This is a very important point. As a man, what men do today is they take their partners for granted. They take women for granted. I am busy working. I'm busy outside with my life, and I can tell my partner at any time to get up and come along with me for something that I've planned. You know how men of older generations were, how our parents were. They would, without any notice, without any plan, our parents, the dad would bring someone over to the house, and the wife is not ready, and then she's been asked to prepare a dinner or something. I'm talking about small issues like this,
Right.
but also bigger issues where you really have a plan set, but you have not told your female about it. You've not told your woman about it,
Mhm.
and you have taken her for granted that she'll just come along with me anyway. I don't need to tell her about this. This is a really, really wrong thing to do as a man. Why? Because it's so important to understand that the woman functions with the lunar cycle. There's a
Mhm.
28-day cycle for women because she has her own hormonal cycle. She goes through her periods. She goes through different phases, the luteal phase before the period. And if you do not communicate with the woman and she is on her period, she's going to go through a lot of trouble. And
Right.
you are going to go through a lot of trouble because of it as a man. So if you're planning something tomorrow, you need to communicate. You need to tell her about the plan. You need to ask her. You need to value her time. So you have to tell her, this is what I have in mind for tomorrow or for the next week. Are you good with this? And she'll tell you, maybe not tomorrow. Maybe I'm on my period. Maybe I need to take rest tomorrow, or maybe I have something else planned. Maybe I'm preparing for my period. So in this way, if you talk to your partner, if you let her know, if you are valuing her time, she does not feel like an object in your life. She's not objectified. We only talk about objectification in terms of physical body, that men objectify women for their bodies. But men also objectify women when they don't value their time, when they think the woman is like their phone. They possess that object and they can take her along wherever they feel like without asking her. So you're committing a sin as a man. Okay, so this is one of the crucial points in this Maryada, that you got to value her time, you have to be punctual, and you have to have the courtesy to inform her if there are changes in plans. Do not do anything on your own. Do not go off in your own direction. You have to ask her before you make changes in your life plans, whether it's for tomorrow, whether it's for next week, or for the next year. You have to ask her because she's running a different cycle. You as a man are running a solar cycle, which is a very simple cycle. Starts in the day, ends by night. The woman's cycle is much more complex. And she may not be in the position. I have seen relationships fail. I've seen so much pain in my own previous relationships because I was not mature enough to understand that the woman is not in the right position to deal with things. She's going through a period, maybe. She's going through a different phase in her hormonal cycle. She can't deal with the situations that I want her to right now. And I, I would become upset at my partner because she wasn't able to. And then she would become more upset because she's already on her period and she doesn't have the capacity to resolve this matter. She is emotional right now. She's going through a lot of stress already, and I wasn't mature enough to handle that because I didn't have the ability to be grounded. And so there was a lot of fight, a lot of to and fro, a lot of conflict, and it would extend for a couple of days. And then over time, I learned that I have been making a mistake. It's important for me to realize that, especially now that we're talking about the woman's hormonal cycle, specifically to this, that the woman on her period needs to be left alone and needs to take rest. There's a reason in our culture earlier in India where women on their periods were just left to rest in a corner. There was a particular corner for them. There was a bed for them. They just rest there. it's not to isolate the woman. It's not because they're outcasting the woman that she's dirty today. That's not the reason. I learned this through experience that the real reason is the woman on her period is going to react emotionally. She's already in pain. This is not the time to talk to her about anything. Don't talk to your partner about anything when she's on a period. Just leave her alone. Don't even try and comfort her unless she really wants it. Just be there for her. Don't try to talk to her. Maybe give her something nice to eat, soothe her, but do not talk to her about things because she's not going to react the way you want it. She may react, she may say things that are wrong, but she's on her period. And you as a man did not understand that. The mistake you made was to even go and start talking about any matter with her. This is what you need to understand. Maybe she's saying the wrong things, but it's not her mistake. The mistake lies with you to get up in the morning and not even prepare yourself for the day ahead that she's on a period. I should not talk to her about matters today. Okay, so
You're making it sound like there's some very big event happening and you weren't aware, so it's your mistake.
it is. It is a big event because men and women face so much problem in the relationship because the guys don't realize she's on a period. So that's why I wanted to bring this up. Okay, I have done this, so I'm telling you. Okay, so
I
that's the
think it's
next point in this.
also, I also feel personally as a woman that each woman has a different sort of a reaction on her period to different things. So if you as a man can understand how your woman typically reacts or like behaves on a period, so you can like definitely try to understand and like not stigmatize that all women who are on their periods are not supposed to be talked to because they're just because they're
I'm
on
not.
their period.
No, no, I'm not. There's no stigma associated. This is
Yeah.
purely for the health of the woman. This is not a time to talk to her about anything. She
Yeah,
has to
just
rest. You have to
don't
leave
talk.
her on her own.
Yeah, just don't discuss serious topics or like that, but
Yeah.
you can definitely talk to.
Yeah, be there for her. More than talk, you just listen to her. This is what I would say to men. Do
Mm.
not talk.
That's a great.
Yeah, just listen. Just listen
Yeah,
and offer her support, comfort her. And there's no need to bring your own point of view when she's going through something already,
I
which
think
is very
that's
stressful.
true for like most of the times. Just listen to
Yeah,
women
yeah,
in all situations, whether she's in her period or not. Just listen and your matters will be solved. And don't try to
yes,
give solutions to her, whatever
yes,
she's asking. Like she is capable
yes,
to finding her own solutions.
yes, yes. And that'll come in the next few points in our Maryada, how to be able to just listen and not offer solutions, right?
Mm.
So shall we move on to the next one?
Right.
Right. The next Maryada is about, we spoke about time. The next one is about, yes, to give her the benefit of doubt always and have complete trust in her that she will always spiritually protect you. This is an important Maryada. To give her the benefit of doubt always. Okay? Because what are we doing today in relationships? What are men doing today? Doubting the woman every time something happens, right? Maybe an issue, a conflict took place between the man and woman, and the man immediately begins to doubt that she begins to project an image onto the woman that, she is so and so, that generalize an image on her that, oh, she's going to hurt me in this way, or she behaves wrongly in that situation, or this is the kind of woman she is. So when you start to project this onto her, you have already ended the relationship. Okay? You already ended it as soon as you projected something onto her. When you assume that she is always this evil person who's trying to harm you, you've already ended the relationship there. It's only a matter of time before it shows up out in the real world. So never doubt your partner. Don't doubt your woman. Give her the benefit of doubt. Yes, realize that everyone can make a mistake. You can make a mistake. She can make a mistake. So if something is bothering you, if something bothers you as a man about what she did, ask her, go and ask her that you behaved in so and so manner with me. Did you mean this? And then the woman will tell you, I didn't mean this. And give her the benefit of doubt when she tells you that. Don't assume that she's lying to you. Don't assume that she's hiding some mistake that she made. Just ask her and give her the benefit of doubt. Now, as a man, also, I want to say that this can sometimes be taken advantage of. In the 21st century, even women are taking advantage of men that way because The man is always giving them the benefit of doubt, and the woman assumes that next time I do something wrong, he'll anyway give me the benefit of doubt. So you as a man there have to still be kind. You have to use your senses and be awake to the situation. Realize when you are being taken for granted. Realize that maybe the woman is not aware. Maybe she's not realizing that she's taking me for granted, and just communicate. That's why the skill of communication is crucial.
Mm.
Go respectfully to the woman and ask her, I feel that you're taking advantage of me, you're taking me for granted. Is that so? And she will honestly then communicate with you. She will tell you that she's not. In fact, if you give her the benefit of doubt, she herself will realize what she's doing. And if she's making a mistake, she'll own up to it. Because me as a man personally feel women are more kind. They make up for their mistakes if you leave them as it is, if you don't try to doubt her, if you don't impose this image on her that you're such a woman, you're so and so woman. It's okay to communicate when she makes a mistake, but don't project any image onto her of what kind of person she is. Okay, that creates a problem. So that's the maryada. You want anything? You want to ask anything?
No, I think this is very serious and one of the most important maryadas because this can be the main reason for conflict between couples. I think, yeah, not tagging her as a particular person just because she did something is also
Yeah.
comes from the fact that she's a human. Everyone is allowed to make mistakes.
Yes. And to realize as a man that the moment you stop giving her the benefit of doubt, you stop receiving spiritual protection from the woman. Okay? In a relationship, the man provides physical protection or worldly protection, but the woman provides spiritual protection at a much deeper level. So when you start doubting your own woman, say you start doubting a woman and you haven't even told her, you're just doubting her in your mind. You still lost spiritual protection from the woman. Please realize this as men. Okay, these are very subtle matters. The moment you create a doubt in your mind that this woman is not good for you or she's trying to harm you in any way, you have already stopped receiving spiritual protection from the woman. Okay, you have created a certain wave in your mind. The swara in your mind has already blocked out the woman's spiritual protection towards you. Even if the woman is there for you, you are no more spiritually protected. Okay, so don't doubt her in your mind. Yes, you can tell her that, you know, what you did hurt me or you made a mistake here. That does not mean you're doubting the woman. All you're saying is, okay, I would like it if you behaved in this way. This would not hurt me. And you talk to her and then you see what she says. But don't judge her. Don't judge her as any kind of person. Okay, you'll stop receiving spiritual protection from her. Okay?
I think men would understand it better if they were more spiritual.
Yes, if they were more spiritual, they would. And that's why we're trying to teach things like Veerya. So, yes. Shall we move to the next one?
Yes.
All right. So, after this comes the point that says, never have fear. Always read those signals not as fear, but as a lack of skill as a man. Identify and admit your lack of skill and get skilled. This should not be outsourced to the Alinga, because the Alinga will lose her Shringara if she is expected to teach you. This is something we can ponder upon this point. Okay, we can talk about this point a little. First of all, as a man, never have fear. Okay? If you are a young man, you have a lot to learn. So you will face many situations where fear arises in you. It's just an indication that you're a growing young man and you need to learn a skill. So focus on learning skills in your life rather than being lazy, being laid back, procrastinating. Just go out there in the world. You're free to. As a man, you have this freedom to go out and do whatever you like. This is the freedom women don't have. And so go out there and learn skills and develop your skills. Then you won't have fear. So if you were afraid about a certain situation and you develop the skill for it, you no more have the fear. This is the way you start building confidence as a man. And more importantly, don't outsource this to the Alinga. Do not expect her to teach you. Okay. Now, I'm not trying to come across as superior to a woman in relationship. I'm not trying to say that the man must never learn anything from the woman. What we are trying to say is you as a woman will not be attracted to a man who's always your student. If you're having to
Mm.
teach your man everything, then he is like your child. He is a man child. That's the term people use these days, don't they?
Yeah.
Man child.
Mm.
That you've grown up, you're in your 20s, but you don't know how to do anything. There's even a song that's come out, Man Child. I heard this a few days ago, and she's singing about how she has to do everything and the man is incompetent and all that. So this is a wake up call for men today, that women are starting to look at you as children, that you're being looked at as a man child. So never go to your partner to learn a skill. Okay, she will stop being attracted to you. She will lose her shringa if you expect her to teach you everything. Okay? Don't ever. In fact, we have learned that in relationship, as a man, always go towards your woman as a teacher. Never go as a student. Okay. And this is not being sexist in any way. We are not trying to put down anyone. We are trying to say that the woman is never going to get attracted to you if you're learning from her all the time. I think you would agree with this. You as a woman, if your partner is coming to you for everything, you're not going to be attracted to him, right?
Definitely part of the reason why I never had any relationships till now.
Right, right. So, so because you're coming across children rather than men.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is crucial for men to realize, okay? Because a lot of liberal minds today and, the way things are proceeding with the Western world, men are saying, no, we can be just like women and we can learn from our women. And no, this is not going to work.
Mm.
Okay. If you want to be a man, then you can't expect the woman to teach you. Even if you don't know skills, even if you want to learn from a woman, don't learn from your partner. Learn from another woman, because she's not going to be attracted to you if you learn from her. Okay, that's
Mm.
all it is. It's the play of emotions. It's the play of shringara, that energy of attraction. It will die down if you're learning from your woman. You want to learn a skill from women, learn it from another coach, another mentor, another teacher who's a woman. Don't learn it from your partner. Okay, please understand this as a man. Okay, even the woman will be happier if you don't go to her for everything. She'll look at you as a stronger man. Okay, so I think we can move to the next one. The next Maryada says that what turns the alinga on is your steadfastness, your dependability. Never morally judge the alinga and be there for her as the stablest force in her life. This is related to what you were talking about, where you don't always have to offer solutions. You sometimes just have to be there as a stable presence, right? The woman wants you to listen to her. Just listen to her. Don't offer a solution. You have to be a container. You have to be like the sink where she can come and deposit her, conversation, deposit her stress, and you can,
Yeah.
like a sink, vacuum it into yourself and be grounded. Okay, that's what you have to be as a man. You have to have this ability to take her stress away and ground
Perfect.
yourself.
Perfect.
Yeah. Right? When they say in yoga that you go and touch a tree and you will start feeling grounded because the tree starts absorbing your stress
Mm.
away and it gives you positive energy. You have to be like that for the woman in the relationship. You have to be the tree that she can come and hold and release all her stress away, and you be rooted to the ground. Ground yourself. Take all the stress away, send it to the ground. Okay, so this is something men have to learn. The most stable force in her life has to be you. If she looks at her father as a stable presence while she's in relationship with you, she is not in relationship with you. She's waiting for you to become the man. Okay. So if she's talking about other people, if she depends on other people, then you are not the man in her life. You are yet to become that. Okay. So start becoming a dependable person. For that, you need a lot of Veerya, because you are now supporting not just yourself, you're supporting the woman. You are now not just carrying your weight, you have the ability to carry the woman's stress with you, to ground her alongside you. So therefore, men need to reconsider, am I even that strong emotionally, mentally, not just physically? If I have a body that looks like it can beat up 10 people, doesn't mean I'm strong enough. Can I handle her situations? Can I handle her stress? Can I listen to her? Can I not keep offering solutions and make her feel, so
Helpless.
emotionally invalidated and inferior and made to feel like she's stupid in the relationship, like she needs to hear a solution from the man. Maybe she just wants someone to hear her, to be an emotional support for her. So understand this, be the most stable force for the woman in her life. Okay, that's your job as a man. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. No questions there. So we can move on. Right. Now, this one is a little bit more about yoga and the things that we learn. The Maryada says, not for a second should you leave your Swamurti and behave like someone else, because this is a sacred fortune given by Devi to you. So, as a man, you are first to develop a Swamurti. What is Swamurti? Because a lot of people listening to this may not know. Swamurti is your self image. It literally means that. Swamurti, self image. First of all, you need to develop a self image in order to have it. And Swamurti in yoga is developed as a divine being. You as a man need to think of someone divine, maybe Shiva, maybe Rama, any character that you really look up to, that you're really inspired by, someone that you want to emulate. That is your Swamurti. Okay. Now, when you have that Swamurti, in yoga, we have practices that build energy in that certain chakra, in the Swadhisthana chakra. Swadhisthana also means the seat of yourself. So the Swadhisthana is where the Swamurti resides. It's right at that genital organ, the same place where Shringara Rasa develops. So at the Swadhisthana chakra, when you build energy, when you're not losing your Veerya as a man, you're not losing your semen on a daily basis, when you're building it, cultivating your Veerya, you develop so much energy in your Swadhisthana chakra down there. Now, with that energy, start to develop Swamurti in your mind. Start to think of what divine, great man you'd like to become. Say your Swamurti is someone like Ram. So you keep that Swamurti in your mind all the time. So your actions start to reflect the Swamurti. When you go out onto the street, you behave like Ram would behave. When you're in conflict with someone, you behave as Ram would behave. When you need to pay attention to your partner, you behave the way Ram would take care of Sita. This is what Samurti means. So first of all, as a man, you should have a great Samurti. Most men don't have this. Most men have no Samurti because we're living in an atheistic world more and more. They don't have any sense of the divine. They don't have any inspiration, a role model to look up to. So men should have this divine image. Most men have a very ugly image of themselves. I'm a guy who drinks on the weekends. I'm a guy who's working 12 hours a day. I come back at home. I just watch some pornography, use that as a means of stress relief, and go to sleep. This is the Samurti men are carrying today. And how are you expected to take care of a woman? So so men need to develop a divine Samurti. Look at yourself as powerful. Then you'll get up and do powerful things. You won't lead a mundane, ordinary, sinful life. You will stop indulging in bad habits because it's silly. It makes you look like a boy, not a man. If you're going out and doing unhealthy things, if you think going out on the weekend and drinking with your friends is being a man, then you're being a boy. Okay, so these are the things men need to learn. What samurti am I functioning in? What am I appearing to the woman as, to my partner as? And never for a second leave your samurti. Now, people as yogis do sadhana 24 hours a day. All day is their sadhana. You know, a lot of us, we do some yoga programs and we think that 1 hour of sadhana in the morning I do, which I've learned from my guru, that is my sadhana. You know, that's a very, it's a laughing matter for me as a person who's been living as a yogi for a few years. You think 1 hour of sadhana is your sadhana? It's a joke for me. I am doing sadhana all the time. That 1 hour in the morning is just a practice. But to sustain myself in my samurti as a yogi is my real sadhana, 24 hours of the day. And when you undertake that kind of discipline, life is not easy as a man, because you'll want to be light. You'll want to take things easy. You'll want to say, let me, be careless for a bit. Let me go do something careless. Let me, just forget about people and indulge in something I enjoy, something selfish. and immediately you dropped out of your samurti. And the second you drop out of your samurti, you started losing energy in your swadhisthana chakra, you started losing your virya, and you started becoming a weaker man. So I can tell you from my personal experience, there have been times, and there still come times in the day when I stop. I literally halt and stop at a place, and I can't move because I'm starting to realize, hey, I'm dropping out of my samurti. My brain is easing out and becoming a little careless. Is becoming like that, boy that used to be in back in college,
Mm.
going to do something silly the next moment, and I stop. I stop right there until I get rid of this and come back into my samurti. So you will see yogis not moving sometimes. They're sitting, they're not moving because they want to function only in their samurti. They don't want to function mindlessly. They're always mindful of how they are behaving in every action. So this is real sadhana, to remain in your samurti. It's a very important thing as a man. Okay, so this is the part of our maryada. Are we good? Or can we still keep recording?
Yeah, there's 8 minutes left for
Okay.
this meeting.
So you want to say anything about this? Do you have any questions?
No, I think this one was very, and I think one of the most important points, because if you don't have that Sumurti, you won't have that Veerya, and then you won't have that Shringa, and then you won't have a partner as well
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
follow all these.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Okay. So let's move to the next one. Okay. For men, the next maryada or principle is you need to tend to your fires, the three fires in your body. You need to tend to your sexual fire, which is Mula Agni. You also need to tend to your digestive fire, which is the Jatara Agni. Then you also need to tend to your intellectual fire, your Chida Agni. Look at how my hands are trying to point in the direction. Because we've been living as yogis for long, it's very natural for me and I can feel it. Mula Agni is down here in the Mula Chakra, which is right at the base of the spine. Okay? That's your sexual fire. Your base primal energy to do anything as an organism is your Mula Agni. You need to have so much of Mula Agni in order to be a proactive, strong, energetic man. Otherwise, you fall into this state of tamas, what we call tamas in yoga, which is inertia, laziness, procrastinating, not getting up to do anything, which is the image of most men today. This is how I see men today. They don't have any Mula Agni. To develop Mula Agni, your sexual energy, you need to stop ejaculating your semen every day. You need to stop watching pornography. You need to not indulge in any sexual imagery out on social media, even if it's not pornography. Because when you indulge in such things, you're creating this desire in yourself, thirst, which is lust. And lust makes you lose your semen, makes you lose your sexual energy. And so you have no Mula Agni. You have no motivation to do anything in your life. So the first thing, tend to your sexual fire. Keep it blazing all the time, 24/7. Okay? And anything that leaks that energy must not be tolerated by you. That means if you see yourself as a man who's indulging in fantasizing about women, or who's watching pornography, who's ejaculating semen on a daily basis, and thinks that's normal because the Western doctors are saying it's good to ejaculate your semen 21 times a month. It's very healthy for your prostate. Then you are going to be a really weak man. Okay, it's very clear in yogic culture over thousands of years that we don't lose our semen. It's okay to lose your semen a few times a month, maybe 3 or 4 times a month. That's healthy because that's keeping your organ functioning well. And it's also emptying your tank when it's getting too filled. That's okay. But to ejaculate on a daily basis, you have just lost your life. You have lost all your sexual fire. Okay, don't expect any woman to be attracted to you. Then you have to tend to your jatara, which is here. It's the solar plexus. We call it the Manipura chakra. Your stomach is where your digestive fire is. So Jatara Agni builds when you do a lot of, when you train your body physically, when you build energy in the Manipura chakra. All that comes in yogic practice. So when you do yogasanas, you're starting to build Jatara Agni. When you do a lot of physical training as a man, you're starting to build digestive fire. Your body is now developing the capacity to digest a lot of food and still be okay, be healthy. You can eat anything because you have so much Jatara Agni. As a yogi, look, I appear like healthy all the time. I'm healthy all the time because I don't have a problem with food. I can eat anything and digest anything. My digestive system is still that of a 21-year-old man. And I'm 32 now, but I still have the same digestive fire because I do a lot of yoga, because I do a lot of asana and training. This digestive fire is tended to. Okay? And then third is the Chida Agni, the intellectual fire. That comes through meditation. When you practice meditation, when you build energy in your higher chakras, Agnya chakra, you are building your Chida Agni. Chida means the mind. So to have a lot of Chida Agni means to have steel focus. Only a person with blazing Chida Agni can find out what is dhyana, what is real meditation. No one knows what dhyana is because they don't have Chida Agni. They don't have the ability to sit still and focus only on one thing for an extended period of time, for an hour, for 2 hours. I mean, men are so weak these days, their attention shifts from one thing to another in a few minutes. So, Chida Agni is very low there. If you don't have this blazing focus towards something, in fact, women won't be attracted to you because your quality as a man is to be steel in your focus. Okay, that's what women are attracted to. So these are the three fires you need to tend to: Mula Agni, Jatara Agni, Chida Agni, and keep them blazing 24/7. Don't take part in anything that leaks any of that energy, and keep yourself healthy. Get a lot of sun every day. Get a lot of grounding every day. Eat healthy, work out, and be in the best of health. You need to look good. You need to look sexy as a man. Okay, so this is part of the Maryada. All right. There are a few more. Do you want me to wait now?
Yeah, I think that there's 2 minutes left. I'll stop.
Right. So shall we move to the next Maryada?
Yes.
Okay. Now this one's fairly straightforward. It says, as a man, you need to smell good, look good, and speak with confidence. No matter what, no matter what, difficulty or shit is going on in your life, do not show up as a victim to the other. Always be solving problems, not as a victim. Okay, now, so this is related to what I was speaking earlier, right? That if you show up as a victim to the other, then, and she has to solve your problem, she's not going to be attracted to you anymore. The Shringara within her will drop for you. There's no more Shringara building because she's looking at you as a child whose problems she has to solve. Okay? In fact, you have to be the one who provides for her. You have to solve her problems. This is how your mentality has to be as a man. I am not saying that the woman cannot ever help the man. I am saying the mentality of you as a man is to not ask for help as a victim. You always have to come as a hero in the woman's life, not as a victim. Okay, that means no matter what, no matter how difficult your life is at the moment, you have to come strong to your partner. Okay, you cannot come as a victim. No crying. Okay, because how men have become these days is maybe I'm not sure if I should talk about this because it can become controversial. Okay, but I want to mention this. Men feel like they can cry today. There's more and more, liberal thought process, a Western thought process is coming into our brains, which says men's health is really suffering. Men are suffering psychologically. Mental health for men, movement, and men can cry too, and all that. Yes, I've felt all this too a few years ago. I have felt the same self pity towards men. Okay, I want to point something out. When you ask for this entitlement that I can cry as a man, just as women can, also consider the fact that you have many other things that a woman doesn't have in her life. If you're asking for this equality here, then notice that Devi's world hasn't been created that way. The world that Devi has created, you as a man have freedom to go out and do anything you want. You can go out in the middle of the night on your bike and have fun. And the woman can't do this with the same level of freedom. She has to think of 20 different things before she does something like that. You have been given this gift by Devi as a man. So you are not allowed to cry. That's all. Period.
I have a
Don't
question.
cry. Yeah. Hmm.
So I can understand that you're saying don't cry out of a victim mindset that you are being trapped into something or like you are stuck, etc. But what if a
No,
man
I can't hear you.
cry?
I can't hear you fully.
So I can understand that you are saying this from a point of view that men should not cry from a victim mindset, and because they are not like they're not being trapped into something, they have control over their life. I wanna ask, like, what if a man cries out of a grief or like a loss for
Yeah.
dead someone? Like,
Yeah.
should that be okay?
Yes, that's totally okay because
Mm.
we're human beings. Of course, a man can cry. Me as a man, I can tell you that. There have been moments in my life when I cried, but I didn't cry to someone. I just cried. I
Mm.
didn't go to anyone for help.
Right.
I let it out. You can let out your you can release emotion. It's okay to release your emotion out. That's totally natural as a human being. But you're not being a cry baby. That's what I'm telling men to be. You
Right.
can't be this person who says there's no one for me. These days the world has become so insensitive that no one listens to men. I don't have anyone to talk to and I feel like committing suicide and I'm becoming suicidal because there's no one for me. I'm very lonely as a man. All this is unacceptable. You cannot cry like a baby. You have been given a gift by Devi. You have all the freedom to go and do anything you want in this world, the way a woman cannot, even if she has the energy. A woman can't do this the way you can. You might be a really dull man with low energy, and a woman might be really high energy and very creative, but she can't go out with the same freedom that you can as a man. That's the gift Devi has given you. So value that gift and realize, okay, if I've been given this gift, then obviously I have to compensate for it in some other way, which is I cannot cry. That's all. Period. I can't go and cry to my partner. I can't go and cry to my mother, to my family, to my friends. No. They say men don't talk to each other about their problems. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to go crying to your friends. Don't be a victim. You can talk to your friends about your problem. Don't be a victim and seek their support and seek their, caressing your head and, taking care of you. No one is going to take care of you. Okay, that's what men have to understand. You have a gift somewhere else. And so you have to compensate for that in another place by not crying. Okay. And so, yeah, that's where I feel it can be controversial, but the fact that men feel their mental health is suffering is because they are not using the gift of Devi that they have been given. The freedom to go and explore life outside, the freedom to go and learn new things. You're not exploring this. You have become a lazy, low energy man, and now you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to. You don't have emotional support. Whereas if you're going out and taking part in the world, meeting people, you will find human support. You will find a healthy mindset. So yes, that's all I have to say about this Maryada. You have to come never as a victim, you always have to be a hero. Like look at Vishnu. Okay. Vishnu as a god, you can never imagine crying. You just can't imagine Vishnu being a victim at any point in time. You can never imagine Vishnu going to anyone, even his partner, and saying, "Oh, I'm feeling like a victim today." Just can't. That is the man. That is the man you have to strive to be. Okay, Vishnu is always solving problems. He's smiling. He's got audacity. Even in tough situations, he's smiling. He's laughing about it. So you have to be like that. Okay, and if men feel suicidal, then you have to learn to be grounded. Okay, suicide is this mental health, and men are becoming suicidal because no one's listening to them. Those are not men. Those are women in men's bodies. Okay, the men have to understand I'm not against you. If you feel I'm being too harsh on you and saying that oh he's telling us that we can never talk to anyone about our problems and this is not great for us and we want to be liberal, sure, you can do that, but you're not being men over there. You're being feminine there. That is feminine energy that seeks support. Providing support is masculine energy. I have no problem if you want to go and cry to someone about your trouble. If you want to do that, at that point, you're not being a man. That's all I'm saying. I'm not against you doing it. I am here to talk about how to be a man. how to be strong as a man. That's what I'm going to say. And I'm always going to stick to the point that don't cry about your trouble to anyone. Deal with it yourself. Be strong enough to handle it. How will you be strong enough when you're not wasting away your sexual energy through porn, through say, instant gratification, through being gratified by small little things? Then you develop the energy to solve your problems. Okay, so you will always come as a hero, never as a victim. Okay, I hope that makes sense. You have anything to ask?
Yeah, I wanted to, like, I was a bit confused about your understanding of that women, like, I can understand women seek support, but women don't have to cry either, right?
Yes, I think no one should come as a victim.
Yeah.
No one should come ever as a victim. However,
Mm.
in a relationship, it's the job of the man to be like the tree, I said, to be that tree of support, to be grounded. Feminine energy cannot always be grounded, but feminine energy has other qualities that the man doesn't have. She can provide vidya, she can provide a wide sense of perception that the man won't be able to see. Now, when the woman can see all of that, it's difficult for her to remain grounded. That's why the man provides stability. And also because the women are dealing with more difficulties. They have their cycle, which is longer, which is not a daily cycle. Now, dealing with all these problems, it's important for men to be the stable force. To be the
This
stable force, you can never seek support. You have to provide support.
this makes very sense that people should not take it to the outside world. Like these comments are made within the relationship dynamics that women can seek support.
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
I'm just saying
There's
that
noise.
I'm making it clear to the people that these comments are being made in terms of the relationship dynamics. So don't take it general out there and don't
Yeah.
like try to outrightly reject these ideas just because you don't
Yes.
understand them clearly.
Yes. Look, I know these are strong points to consider, but we want to create a strong man. Okay?
Right.
You have to take some things hard,
This
and it's not
this
going to be easy.
this knowledge I think is only for the adhikaris who really understand what we are talking about.
Yeah, I'm not. I didn't hear that. Okay.
I'm saying this knowledge is for the adhikaris. This knowledge is for the
Yes.
adhikaris
Yes.
themselves.
Yes. Yes. And in a relationship, it's very clear that you do not come ever as a victim to your partner. This is for the men. Okay? Now, if you move to the next Maryada, I mean, that's very straightforward. When the Alinga is present with you, you have nothing to worry about. You surrender to her care. This is another Maryada that men need to understand. Okay. Sometimes you have to let go. When the Alinga is with you, when your partner is with you, surrender to her care. Don't be worried about anything. Sometimes you have to drop your mind, and you can feel safe with her because she is taking care of you. She is providing you spiritual protection. So there, so what happens in relationships is men never take it easy. They get stressed out that I have to take care of everything, and I'm taking care of a lot of things. I have a lot of trouble going on in my mind, and they can never surrender fully to their partner. They don't feel secure enough to surrender to their partner. So men have to develop this security in themselves that I can surrender to my partner. With her, she is also there for me. She will take care of me. I can feel safe in her presence. Just the way Vishnu can go into Yoga Nidra peacefully with Lakshmi by his side. Like that. The man can let go. It's okay to drop your mind and let go when you're with your partner. Trust her and she will protect you. She will take care of you. Okay? That's one. Now, if we speak about more, there are 3 or 4 points more. Yes. Another Maryada says always care for the physical protection and well-being of the Alinga because she is one with you. Okay, I'm sorry, there's so much noise. Can you hear this noise?
No.
Okay. So yeah, care for the physical protection and the well-being of the Alinga. She is one with you. Okay, so please realize as men that in a relationship, both are complementing each other. The man's job is to provide physical protection and well-being. The woman's job is to provide spiritual protection. That's also a deeper matter. It's more important maybe than physical protection. So in order to do this, in order to follow this point of Maryada successfully, you have to be tough as a man. You have to have a tough body. You have to have a lot of energy so that you can provide physical protection for your partner, for the Alinga. Okay, that means being a weak man and saying, I am living in the 21st century, I don't need to have a strong body, this is a liberal world, is not the way. Every man has to be tough. Every man must have a strong enough body to have the confidence to protect his partner. Okay? This is the minimum that a man must have. If you don't have that energy, start working on it. Start getting stronger. Start eating right. Start taking more sunlight. Follow Devi Maryada. Do the yoga and get stronger. There's no other option. You don't have an option to be a weak man. That's why we are creating Kali Yuga. This freedom to be whoever I like is being taken advantage of. We are taking advantage of the freedom our technological world has given us in order to become weak men. Okay, so don't indulge so much in your pleasure and your desire to not work on yourself. Be tough, be hard on yourself, and be have the strength to protect your partner. Otherwise, you cannot be in relationship. Okay, this is the point of this Maryada, right? Can I keep moving on? Yeah.
Yes.
So after physical protection, another beautiful point in this Maryada is the Alinga is the most beautiful thing in your life. She is bigger than Devi. Her Vidya and blessings are what you rely on to fulfill your Dharma. She has the Hiranya Garbha within her. Now, this point of Maryada is also important to understand as a man. Your partner, the Alinga, is the most beautiful thing in your life. Even more important than Devi. Because Devi you haven't seen. Devi, the one who created this universe, you haven't really seen her. You don't know her. You don't know her ways. She's far beyond you. Maybe you worship her, but you don't really know her. But here in your life, in front of you, is this woman who is literally the manifestation of that Devi in your life. So she is even more important than the Devi that you're worshipping in the Murti. This is the Devi that you have to worship in your life. She's the most beautiful thing in your life. Okay. So I think if men looked at all of the above points that we've spoken from this point of view, they will realize why I'm being tough on the men. It's coming from this intention, the intention that the woman in your life is the one you have to worship even more than Devi. In order to do that, you need to be strong. You need to be supportive. You need to be a person who doesn't cry, who's always providing, right? So when we say that her Vidya and blessings are what you rely on to fulfill your dharma, I am saying that as a man, you will not be able to fulfill your dharma unless you have a woman's energy in your life, until you have the blessings and the Vidya that the Alinga brings, the subtle energies that she can sense, the wide range of perception that she has to be able to see many different variables that you as a man cannot see. Those are the qualities of the woman that allow you to fulfill your dharma. So you need the woman in your life to fulfill your dharma. He has the Hiranya Garbha within her, meaning Hiranya Garbha, the golden womb or the womb of creation from where the universe emerged. Now, for you in your life as a man, her womb is the Hiranya Garbha for you. How do we explain this to men? Okay, how can I explain this to a man? Because I am telling the man that the womb of your woman is the womb of creation in your life. Why? Just as Devi created the universe in the Hiranya Garbha, which is the golden womb, you will find as a man, when you have a partner, you will find maybe you don't realize initially, but if you are awake, if your senses are running, and if you are present to reality, you will find every action of yours is to is for the well-being of her womb. You will find this as a man in relationship. I know this as a man in relationship. Everything I do, every action, whether it's my something with regards to my career, whether it's something with regards to my body, my health, whether it's something with regards to daily actions, any action that I undertake as a man is arising out of this desire to care for the womb of my woman. It's really that in the depth of my mind. Men have to understand this. Every action that you take in your life is so that you can provide for the woman, so that you can provide a safe life for the woman. There's a reason Shiva's wife is called Shakti. Shakti is the source of energy for anything that you do in your life. So the woman in your life is the source of your Shakti. Without the woman, you have no motivation, you have no purpose to do anything. There is no motivation for you to get up in the morning and, be strong, go out and, do whatever actions you need to get done. All of this comes because you have a woman in your life. She is the source of your energy. So unless you understand that the garbha, the womb in her is the reason for your existence, you will not take care of her. Okay, so it's important that you know this. This is a Maryada that she is more important than even Devi in your life. She is the manifestation of Devi. You worship her. And everything that you do is for the well-being of her womb, the Hiranyagarbha. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think this is about how men cannot, like, because she is the creator and she's a life giver, sort of like
Yes.
why men cannot survive alone in this world without nature. And she's that physical representation of nature, so you have to worship her
Yes.
because she's somewhere representing that ultimate source of your being and existence.
Yes. She's the reason for your existence. Men have to understand this when they are in relationship. When you until you have entered relationship, you are simply establishing your identity. You're establishing your dharma, your direction, your earth, your stability, your wealth. But when a woman enters your life, you start to realize that everything that you do, the reason for your existence is your partner, is your alinga, right? Okay. So now, reaching the end, the next point says the love and care you feel from the Alinga will make you immortal and youthful forever. So learn this Maryada. As a man, you know that if you really have genuine love for each other, not the love that you show in movies or you read in a book, but genuine love, which comes from a really deep place. It doesn't come from just a selfish place. It doesn't come from a place of I'm going to her for my comfort. That's not love. But when you really want to take care of her, when you worship her, and then she worships you, then the love you create is going to make you young. Even science is starting to find this out that people who are in love, people in really deep relationships, successful relationships, start to produce a certain chemical. I'm not getting the word, it's something related to your DNA, and that reverses your aging. So when you really make genuine love, you start reverse aging. You have a glow around you. People notice that glow. I can speak from experience that people will notice this glow. They will tell you that you're glowing today, and they will see the joy on your face, and your youth is starting to come back. So we are not against having partners. What we are encouraging is real love. As yogis, we are not saying that be a brahmachari means, never have a partner, never indulge in any relationship. That's not what we mean. By brahmacharya mean create a great life and find real love. Find a genuine partner who you really love. And then you will see that you have found Amrita, the source of immortality. That you're not aging anymore. You're young. Okay. So it's important to love and receive love. You're always going to remain young. Okay, so that's one of the maryadas. If you have any questions, you can ask me or I'll proceed.
No, I don't think I have any questions.
They are not referring to this genuine love. They are referring to the love that we show these days in relationships. That kind of love is a waste of time. And it's true. It's not going to help you in any way. It's not going to make you younger. But they are not against real love. In fact, all our sages, rishis, gurus want people to become more loving so that they can become youthful, they remain youthful. So the source of your immortality as a yogi is to find true love, to find genuine love. And you'll find you're getting younger all the time. Okay. And right. Now the next point, probably the second or third last point is you also have to, as a man, honor your physical lingam, which is your sexual organ. And you have to bless your partner to with the opportunity to enjoy that, right? But in a healthy way. You have to master brahmacharya so that you're not losing your Veerya. You can indulge in sexual pleasure with your partner, but you're not thirsty for it. It's not become moha. It's not become a desire. a thirst is just a small part of your life. Sexual pleasure is a very healthy part of life in order to have a good relationship. A sustaining long term relationship requires you to enjoy sexual pleasure with each other, but you have to master brahmacharya. Do not lose your virya except on prescribed days. And so this is the way you have to take care of your physical lingam. Okay. When you please her and when she is pleased with you, it is equivalent to a blessing from Shiva. It is like a boon from Shiva. So yes, so honor your physical lingam and master brahmacharya. Then you can take part in sexual pleasure. Right. Now moving to the next one. I'm trying to finish this now. Always be grateful to Shiva and Shakti for creating sexual energy in you and filling you with it. Okay? Because spirituality and a lot of religious practice has become so much against sexual energy, has created it's like a taboo now. Sexual energy is considered a taboo, as something not to be spoken of, very bad, very wrong. But sexual energy is the very source of all your energy. It's your basic, vital, primal energy. So you should be grateful. You be grateful that Shiva and Shakti created sexual energy and have blessed you with it, and honor it. Respect your sexual energy. Don't waste it. Don't indulge in sexual fantasizing. Don't indulge in the wrong habits. Don't indulge in too much pleasure. Don't crave for sexual pleasure. It's a small part of your life. Enjoy it there and let it be. Don't make it the central theme of your life. Okay? Right. And the last point of this Maryada for men is to meditate, to cultivate your virya, and to use it to secure your time and space on the earth with the linga. So as I said earlier, everything that you do is for the alinga, meaning you cultivate your virya, you develop power, learn to meditate, and use that virya in order to develop wealth around your life so that you have enough time and space to enjoy this time on earth with your partner. So that's the last point I have to say about Maryada for men. I think these are some really good points that men of the 21st century, if we begin to follow, we'll find we are living in a really harmonious relationship with women. We don't have any problem understanding women. We don't have any problem conflicts with them. No emotional trouble, no feeling of resentment, and you'll be able to sustain a really long term relationship with your woman.
To all those men who are questioning these like maryadas, saying mentally in their heads, like I can feel what will they say is that we can improve, but who will change the women? So I just want to say that it's not the other way around. It's first men change, and that's how women adapt. Because and all the like revolt within women that you are seeing is because the men are not behaving like men. So if you
Yes.
start acting more like men, women will automatically turn into their genuine feminine selves, and
Yes.
you don't have to do anything about that as such in particular.
Yeah. It's your quality as a man to not point out things to women, to take ownership and become a better man. Don't blame anyone else.
Right.
All right. So I think this was good. I think we had a good conversation. If there's anything else you want to ask me, I'm okay to. Maybe we'll have another conversation again.
This was I'm just ending this conversation podcast.
Sure.
So these were some really good points. Thank you so much for sharing. Very insightful and interesting how love and real love is very different from what you see in movies than spiritual emotion of love. These are
Hmm.
very different. As humans, we need to really go beyond and like explore these
Yes.
emotions.
Yeah, I think you stick to these points as a man, you'll have a good relationship. That's all. This is your code of conduct.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.